Hello everybody, it's Gail here. I know it's only been a week since my last video. Well, I think it's about 9 days really, so you know, a bit shorter. But I have been busy sewing, and I thought I'd show you what I've been sewing and also how I'm sewing it. Now, last week I talked about all my red and light fabrics that I was going to make an appliqued heart in red on a light background. And I've been collecting them for a few years, and no, I changed my mind. I suddenly wanted to make an hourglass quilt, and I was going to use my red and pails. So here's some of my pails. William Morris, that is that's good, isn't it? I've forgotten the name of the range. It's Three Sisters, one of them, and these are all from Three Sisters ranges, apart from this one, which I think is William Morris, but I thought it went with all these sorts of things, you know. Lovely. Anyway, I've chopped them up. Yes, I did say, didn't I, that I did two different methods of coming up with the block, the finished block, which there it is, an hourglass. I'm balancing this very cold water wet tissue on my hand because I burnt myself on the iron, and I thought, right, I'm going to turn the iron off and have a break from all this ironing and pressing I'm doing. And this is the block I'm making, and I'm going to trim it down to 6.5 inches and just do a great big quilt with them. And I'm going to order some 5-inch wide striped fabric from the same makers but a different range, but you know, they all go, which isn't arriving until September. So once I've sewn all these together, I can get on to something else while I wait for September to come. Anyway, I'm going to show you the two different methods. I'm not actually going to do any sewing, I'm just going to talk about it. So we have a red and a pale. This is the method I'm not using. So you put both sides together. Mine are 8 inches because I thought the blocks I ended up with 10 inches square was too big. I wanted something a bit smaller, so I cut them all at 8 inches. Anyway, you put them together, right sides together, and you sew all the way around the 4 outside edges with your 1/4 inch seam allowance. You merrily sew all the way around, and then when you're finished, you put it on your cutting board and you cut it. Let me see if I can get my cutting board here. Well, it's not a cutting board, it's an ironing board, but I'm not actually going to do it. You get your ruler and you put it from corner to corner and cut, and then you cut it from corner to corner the other way. And when you open up and iron them, you have 4 triangles, well, 4 half square triangles like this, but smaller. Okay? The method I'm doing is I'm putting a light and a red right sides together, and I'm drawing a line along one diagonal, and I'm sewing a 1/4 inch away on each side of that line. And then when I've done both of the sewing on each side, I cut along that drawn line. That drawn line will have stitches a 1/4 inch away either side of it, and then I cut along the drawn line, and you end up with a little piece like this. And you iron it open, and you got lots of samples everywhere. You end up like that. So then you get another one with I'm using different patterns because I'm a bit of, well, you don't have to actually. Let's you get your 2 and you lay them on top of each other, right sides together, but with the red against the pale, or whatever colour you're using, and the pale against the red. So you make sure that's nice and lined up, pin it all together, feel and check that your middle seam are butting up, and then you get your ruler and you draw a line from corner to corner, but across, so that's water dripping off my bandage, across here. And again, you sew a 1/4 inch either side of that drawn line. And when you've got it finished and you've got a 1/4 inch sewing on this side and a 1/4 inch away from that side from the line, you cut along the line and you end up with one of those. And I'm going to cut them down. They're about 7 at the moment. Yeah, 7 inches square. Some of them are a bit near 7 really for me to be happy. So I'm going to cut them down to 6.5, and then I'm just going to sew them all together. Alternate, you know, like oh, where's my other one gone? Here. So it'll be all, no, that's not it. All mixed up. I don't want ones together that, you know, match. So it'll be like that and that all over. So I need to do 144, and I've worked out all my sizes. That'll be about 72 inches square, and then I'm going to put my borders on, and there'll be 7 inches borders. So what will that be? 72 plus 14, 86 inches square. That's big enough for me. But obviously I won't get that finished till possibly next spring, because by the time the borders come, it'll be September, October. That's a bit near Christmas for me. But I might just decide to sew them on, but I won't be quilting it till afterwards. I've still not layered up my applique one for quilting. I bought some more wadding. I keep reading that the price is going to go up, so I bought some. So I've got lots of wadding now. It's taking over. Anyway, that's how I'm making these blocks. Is I'm just sewing diagonally. And as I say, you can do it where you sew all around the outside edge and cut it into 4 well, you cut 2 diagonal cuts from corner to corner, and you end up with 4, but they are a lot smaller. I don't know how much smaller. I wonder if I could work it out. No, I can't work it out. Anyway, I've had to take my bracelets off because they were touching my burnt hand. So I thought, being as I'd had to take them off, which was painful to get it over the burn, I would tell you about them. I wear these all the time. Now this one has got hearts on it, one for each of my children, and this one has got stars on it, one for each of my grandchildren. I wear them all the time, apart from when I burn my hand. I was just stretching over and my iron fell onto my hand. It went. Yeah, so I've got a big burn about that long. Nice and narrow. But it didn't, it just the corner of it caught my hand. It's not like a solid triangle of burn or anything, but it is hurting. Anyway, my husband has brought me a coffee, and I decided I was getting a bit fed up with all the signing. So I thought I'd make a quick little video telling you how I'm doing with this latest quilt. I've done the complete blocks, the completed, ready to sew together. I've done about 70 of those now, 75, something like that. So, you know, I'm halfway. It's easy doing. Most of it's hand sewn. I'm doing it in front of the telly. I could sit here and go zzz along on my machine, but I'm not really in the mood for that. Although I am getting a hankering for starting my granddaughter's cardigan. So once I've grabbed her and measured her, I'm going to be starting that. So I'll be in here doing it on the machine rather than hand sewing. And I have bought something this week. I know I said I was not wanting to, but these are just lovely. Now there's checks. I don't know if they're all the same range. I got them from a D-Stash group. That's florally. I got another check. And then I got these. They've got apples on them. Aren't they lovely? It's got apples on it. And that's got apples on it as well. And then we have a big piece of check. Aren't they lovely? I couldn't resist them, especially I do like things with brown on. Ow, ow. So yeah, I bought those, a few fat quarters. I don't think I bought, I bought a book. No, I didn't actually buy it. My husband bought it me for Mother's Day. He usually buys me flowers, but I said instead of flowers, because they always die, can I have this book? Somebody was selling it on the D-Stash group, and I got it from Amazon because it was cheaper than she was selling it for. But it's, you know, I have said, I think previously, that I want to make a pickle dish quilt, and that's why I bought the cat pattern, which I've not started, because it's foundation paper pieced, and I'm a bit scared of that. Anyway, it's on the front cover of this Calf Facet book, the pickle dish. So it's in there, so I bought it because, you know, I didn't know where I was going to get it from. I didn't know who'd done it. I mean, I don't suppose he's the complete originator. It's, you know, it's one of those patterns that's everywhere. Anyway, I bought his book, which I've not got in here because I'm busy reading it. And I've also, well, I bought these in February, so no, I didn't. Was it fabric free February? It was, wasn't it? Right, I paid for these in January, and they were due to come at the end of February, and they just came a few days ago, maybe Saturday. And I think I've talked about this before as well. This is a giant panel that I bought because I thought it was lovely, and I have got matching fabric. But then I thought, once it arrived, why have I bought that? Because I don't want a big panel in the middle of my quilt. You know, I'm a grown woman. So it was hanging around doing nothing. See if I can... Oh, that's not the panel, that's the matching fabric. I don't know where I've put it. Anyway, I bought 5 more. This nice lady ordered me some from her supplier. Now, it's come in one great big long roll, so I'm a bit worried about cutting it up. But it's, let's see if I can get it correct so that you can see. Can you see it from there? Yes. Now, can you see that? With the peacocks on? The flowers at the bottom? It's lovely, isn't it? So, anyway, I've got 6 of those now, and I'm going to make one of those, oh, I don't know what they're called. The hexagon triangles. You know, where you get the triangles and you put them all together in a hexagon, and each piece is the same because you stack all of the panels or any fabric you want to use. You stack them on top of each other and you stick pins in so that they are stacked on top really accurately. So I'll stick a pin through the peacock's eye on every piece and things like that. And then when you've got them absolutely deadly accurate, you just cut it into strips. So if you might cut them into 6-inch strips, and then each strip you get your triangle and you cut triangular pieces out along the strip, and each set of triangular pieces you then can place into a hexagon shape, and it's a bit like a kaleidoscope. You have to have something really kind of vibrant and big patterned to make it work. So I hope that that is vibrant and big patterned enough, because it cost me enough. Anyway, that's on my list of things to do. I've got that many things on my list of things to do. Don't know if I'm coming or going. I've had to start writing it down because it's so annoying when you forget, isn't it? I forget what it is I want to do. I forget everything. My husband and I were saying this morning that we must remember to buy from the supermarket something, and neither of us can remember what it is we said we wanted to buy. And there was something else I wanted to buy, and by the time I'd logged on to the supermarket, where's my wet cloth gone? I've forgotten again. It was something important, I think, as well. You know, something that we've... You see, when you do it online, you're not wandering up and down the aisles, you know, and you think, oh, I forgot I needed one of them, when you actually see it. Well, I don't do that. So I have to think, and oh, my brain is going a bit, it's going a bit old and doddery, I think. I have a lot on it. I need to start writing some lists, I think. That's what I usually do. Write it all down so that my brain has sorted out what's going on. Because, I mean, I have a friend, you know, and she says she never writes lists. She just keeps it all in her head. I couldn't do that at all. I'd have no idea of what was going on in my life. I've got an appointment next week to have some blood tests. And I've also got something else to do, but I can't quite remember. It's in my diary anyway. I'll have to keep having a look in it, won't I? But I'm always having to look in my books to look at my list because I can't remember. And oh, you know what I found out the other day? I was hunting for something. Oh, some fabric that I am the keeper of in the quilting group. I'm just looking after it. I was hunting for it because I couldn't remember where to put it. And I found this dressmaking fabric in a box. This piece has been on my desk for the last month, and I found a piece just the same in a box. I must really like it, mustn't I? What am I like, hey? And before, I couldn't find my new glasses anywhere. I'm saying to my husband, where are they? Where have I put my new glasses? Anyway, eventually I thought, the last place we looked, of course, he's saying, have you looked here, have you looked there? I said, I want to put them there. It's because of Sundays when my grandchildren come round. It's not the eldest, you know, the 5-year-old. He's quite sensible. But the little one, who is about 18 months now, is she? About that. She's into everything. So you have to move everything that's dangerous away. And everything that you don't want messing with. Any bits of paper. I mean, we do that every Sunday. We stick everything in a bag and move it and hide it away somewhere else. We have to put barricades up to keep her away from things. And you have to be watching her. You can't, if there's 2 of you, you can't have a chat because one of you has to be looking. So you can't have you can't pay the full attention to the person you're supposed to be talking to because you have to be watching what she's doing. She's very good. If you say no, she stops, you know. Yeah, she's very good. But she came on Sunday with my elder grandson, because my youngest grandson, of course, is in Wiltshire, and the mum, and my husband and my daughter and me. We were there, so there was 2 children and 3 adults. And she gets things, my granddaughter, and wanders around with them. She likes things, you know. She likes to discover what things do. Like she'll walk off with a spoon and tap things to see what noise it makes when she goes tap on everything in the room. Anyway, oh, I can just see here I've got a message off my daughter, and my grandson, who is scared to death of having his hair cut, he's been going to the hairdressers to he's been going to the hairdressers every Friday after school and wandering round and feeling the scissors and chatting with the hairdressers and feeling comfortable there and getting to trust them. And he's had his hair cut today, so I'll have to have a look at those photographs in a minute. She's just sent me some. And now they're on the way to the shop to buy his dinosaur, which was the insensitive. Although, you know, it took him 6 weeks to agree to sit in the chair and let them cut his hair. And from what I was just noticing then, it's not a full cut, but it's trimmed. It was getting a bit long round his ears and stuff. Anyway, that's beside the point. What was I talking about? I can't remember. I've totally forgotten. Oh, she's just saying how patient the hairdresser was. Yeah. I wonder what I was talking about. Oh, I know. Yes, my granddaughter. She gets things and wanders around with them. And Sunday, she came out the kitchen with a mop and a sweeping brush with, you know, like 5 or 6 inch. No, they're not 5. Maybe they're not 6. They're maybe 5 foot long handles. She had one in each hand, twirling them. You know, woohoo! Look what I've got. So we have to watch what she's doing. And we watched her take things out of my daughter's handbag. And my daughter said, it's all right, she'll put it back. She's very tidy. And she did. She put them back in again, like wandering around with the keys. Then she went and put them back in her handbag. Anyway, Monday, I got a message off my daughter saying, is my purse at your house? And we'd all seen her wandering around with Mummy's purse. So we hunted everywhere. Couldn't find it at all. No, it doesn't seem to be here. We hadn't noticed when we tidied up after they'd gone. And you know, we looked in all the drawers that she likes to open, and we looked in all the places where she likes to mess about. And it occurred to me about half an hour later that she was looking very interestedly at my embroidery that I keep down the side of the cupboard that the TV's on. And hey, it's been there years. I've not done I started it perhaps 15 years ago, and it's still there in its frame. And she was looking very interestedly down there, and I thought, whoa, she's going to get that out, but she didn't. And I thought, I'll have a look down there, and there it was, a mum's purse, nicely stacked with my embroidery on its frame. So we found it. That was a bit of a drama, you know. My daughter needs to buy petrol and food and things, doesn't she? I have to drink this while it's warm because we got rid of the microwave when they said they were going to put all the prices of the fuel up. And the microwave, it wasn't working very well, you know. We'd had that a long time. Anyway, we bought a small tabletop oven and threw the microwave away. Took it to the tip recycling area, you know. And so now we can't heat up gone cold cups of coffee. I have to do my scrambled eggs in a pan. I'm enjoying eating all those eggs I bought. Yeah, I am. They're lovely. I love eggs. So yeah, we've got this small tabletop oven, and it doesn't need any preheating. You put your food in, you set the timer for half an hour, and half an hour, it pings. It's turned off, and your food's all cooked. Well, I love it. I'll use it for everything. You don't have to bend down. The door opens onto the work surface, you know. I don't know if it's saved us. It must have saved us some money, mustn't it? Because you have to preheat your oven, and then you have to heat the oven when you're only putting in something for 2 people, or sometimes 1 person. Whereas that small oven, we have done a chicken in it. Not a big chicken, you know, just one that feeds 2 people. Anyway, I thought I'd show you my new glasses. The other pair, if you remember, I tried on and it reflected everything. Well, I've pre-checked, and these reflect everything as well. But I thought you might enjoy seeing my big light. I'll see if I can get it reflected in my big sad light, which I come in here and sit in front of, and it cheers me up. So these ones are purple, my other ones were red. So let's turn that little light off. There. Can you see my big sad light in the... It's big. It's, I don't know, 2.5 foot by 18 inches. And it's bright. And it does me good in the winter. And I can see with these glasses on. Like, you're a bit blurry now. Well, I say you, I mean me, because I can see me. I'm a bit blurry because that's... It was very interesting going to the opticians because I always thought I was just blind in one eye. But apparently I'm very short-sighted in one eye and very long-sighted in the other. And where those 2 sight abilities intercept maybe even, that's where I can't see. And it's about 2 foot away from me. So it's computer. It's the computer screen I can't see. And I can't really see very well me on my phone. I don't know if it's the cold that's hurting or the actual... Can you see anything? Anyway, it's across my hand like that. It's red, isn't it? It's very cold, but it's also very sore. Anyway, I was just busy ironing all of these. You know, I've got millions of these sewn together triangles, and I'm ironing them open like this. And then I'm going to lay them across each other like that, pale against coloured red and coloured red against the pale, making sure that these seams in the middle touch each other. I pin them and then I draw my line. I know I've said all this before, it's a recap. Draw my line that way and I sew a 1/4 inch away from the line on each side, and then I iron them open. Ooh. And you end up with so far 75 of these. I'm looking forward to sewing them all together. I'll sew them all together on the machine and cutting them all down and everything. I like to get on with the project. This is me, I got this mug for Christmas off my friend, along with lots of other things. She always buys me lots of little things. Well, not so little, actually. She just buys me lots of things. did I tell you she bought me a tin with a giraffe on? I like giraffes. She always buys me something giraffe. She bought me a little tin with a giraffe on, and inside there was, I can't remember how many, there might have been 4 jelly babies. That was lovely, wasn't it? In fact, my husband has bought a packet of jelly babies, and he gives me 1 a day, sometimes 2. But it saves me, because I love jelly babies. But you can't buy yourself a packet, can you? Because you eat them all. Well, I do. I'm an eat-aller. I can't really only do some. It's a shame, isn't it? We've decided, you know, we I think I've told you that we like to have biscuits with our coffee. I've got a biscuit here. Biscuits with our coffee and tea. And that's a habit we got into when it was lockdown. And we tried giving it up, but it's just, you don't enjoy your tea as much, do you, when you've not got a biscuit? So I buy the cheapest biscuits I can from the supermarket. They're like 45p, 50p. And if I don't like them, all the better, because I only eat 1 or 2. Sometimes none, you know, if I don't like them. I don't like coconut. Anyway, what seems to be happening is we get a packet of biscuits and we cut it in half. Here's your half, here's my half. It's not good for you to have half a packet of biscuits. And it's, I mean, sometimes I might only have 4, but then later in the evening, I'll eat the rest. So we've decided we're going to open all the biscuits and we're going to put them all in a big glass jar. And instead of walking in with half a packet, we can walk into the living room with just 3 biscuits. I mean, there's no telling, I might one night attack the whole jar, like I do the treat jar that I fill with treats, sweets and chocolate bars and things for the grandchildren. I just got Mother's Day card today off, was it on Sunday, Mother's Day? Can't remember when it was. My little grandson in Wiltshire, it just came today because my daughter took it to the post office and forgot to send it, so it got sent the next day, or some other day, when next time she went. So I knew it was going to be late, and it just came today. And it's got his little hand inside. She's painted it with something, and his little hand has printed. And my other grandchildren, they bought me one between them. And my eldest grandson, he said to me, "I've written my name, that's my writing there, Granny." And I said, "Yes, it's very, very good. Yes, it's lovely." And he said, "The other stuff, my sister just got a pen and scribbled." I said, "I think that's kisses." He must have thought to himself, "No, it isn't," because it's just scribbled. But, you know, give her the benefit of the doubt. She might have been trying to make kisses. Who knows? They are lovely, aren't they, grandchildren? It's just, you know, it's hard when you don't see them. Although I wouldn't want to, you know, look after them day after day after day like some grandparents have to with their grandchildren. I ain't got the energy for that. They wear me out completely. Just, I mean, we have him for about 6 hours on Sunday, and when they were on strike, we had him then for about 6-7 hours as well. And yeah, we're too old. I didn't think I was too old when I had my children. I think when I had my elder daughter I was 25, and I was 30 when I had my younger one. And here I am now, too old. Mind you, they didn't have their children till they were older. I think my eldest is 35 now, so she was 30 when she had my grandson. And my other daughter was 30 when she had hers. I had my last one when I was 30. So I'm a bit older than my mum was. I do love them though. Well, all the time my husband keeps saying, "You're just spending so much money on them." That's what we're for, isn't it? Making sure you've got things in that they like. Yeah, he wasn't very happy last week because we've got to encourage him to read, and he didn't want to read. And I said, "Oh, well, you can't have an ice cream then." He was like, didn't encourage him to read at all. He just thought, "What? No ice cream?" You know, he knows that those ice cream in the freezer are his, they're for him. It goes looking in the, well, he doesn't really look. He opens the fridge door and looks for his things. He looks for the jellies and the chicken strips and all that kind of stuff. And he has a look in a corner of the kitchen where we try to hide things, but he knows there's like chocolate Swiss roll. I buy chocolate Swiss roll every week. because I think I'm going to make, because I like making sugar-free trifles. They're not exactly sugar-free, but they're very low sugar because I don't add anything that's got sugar in it. I buy things that are sugar-free or have sweetener. You know, even the jelly is sugar-free because it's made out of sweetener. But it's just wonderful having a, you know, a big load of trifle that isn't going to raise your blood sugar much. Anyway, I buy it and we hide it, and he finds it and says, "Can we have chocolate to this roll?" Of course you can. You know, we let him have whatever he wants. Anyway, it's been 30 minutes. Just seen the time before it got to 44. So I think I've yabbled on enough. And the next time I come, I might have a bit of quilt sewn together to show you. I might have started my crocheting. Anything could have happened, couldn't it? Anyway, I'll thank you for coming and watching and listening. Hello to new subscribers. Hello to my old subscribers. And I'll talk to you soon. Hope this leaves you well. Bye bye.